Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Do you think with a 4-hour debate, actually, you know what? Let's just take bets. How long in this 4-hour debate that Trump wants with Joe Rogan and Joe Biden, how long does it take before Joe Rogan asks when are they going to legalize DMT?
First question. It's his first question.
First question. Just like, all right, so DMT, this is what it does to your body. Can we legalize it? And Trump would be like, I don't know what that means, but yes. And Biden's like, Joe.
It's like Die Hard 5. It started with Yippee-Ki-Yay, except this will have substance afterward.
And I'm done.
Okay,
I'm
bye-bye.
out.
It's true. I'm sorry.
We were onto something, and then now we're not.
I'm not in this podcast anymore. No.
Casey, I miss you. Casey, wait. I think I can think of a good reason for you to come back. We have a very special episode today. Why don't you tell them, everybody, what we're doing today on the episode? We have a returning guest.
Mariah Carey.
A recurring guest. Yeah, Mariah Carey is here. The perfect episode for Halloween, to kick off Halloween. Mariah Carey. No, it's not. Somebody even cooler than Mariah Carey. Dustin Payne is here from Frightworks. Everybody, what's up?
Hey.
What's up?
I'm so excited that Frightworks is coming back.
Oh, my God.
Not even COVID can keep it down.
Hell no.
Absolutely.
The one thing about this year that we've said, everybody I know has been saying, is just like, my God, maybe Halloween will be cool. You know, because everything else has just been a steaming turd pile. Mm-hmm. And when I had contact with you and you said, we're doing it this year, I was like, thank God. Tell us about it, buddy. Tell us how this year's been, man.
Oh, God.
That's kind of a loaded question, I know.
Yeah. I think in order to even start, we're going to have to roll all the way back to like the end of the season last year. We started our planning for 2020, and we had so many ideas going ahead. And then we hit March. And good old Rona.
Just like the rest of the world.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was really great, though, because some of us were out of work for a while. Me, I work at Starbucks, and I was fortunate enough to be out of work for a while, but still receive my pay. So
that's nice.
It was amazing. Starbucks has been absolutely amazing to me through this whole time period. But we all agreed, like, we kind of did our own self-isolation when it all first started, and then we were like, hey, let's use our time wisely. So we started headed down to the haunt. We had a whole nother idea for what we were going to do for the haunt this year. But it might have involved some doctors and nurses, and we were like, maybe that's not the best route to go down. So we decided that we were just going to do a continuation of last year. So if you guys remember last year, we did the whole Dream Reavers Sleep Institute, where they would come in, they would go through an experiment, and they would be able to see their dreams in reality, but it would actually turn out that it was a horrible nightmare. Mm-hmm. So this year, essentially, no one knows what happened. Like, the staff has disappeared. Everybody's gone. So they've sent in a recon team to figure out what's going on and why they can't get this portal closed. And that team's gone missing. And now it's up to you guys to come in and try to figure out what has actually gone on and what's happened.
Oh, that's so good.
But were we supposed to wake up after the last one?
The world may never know.
If you guys could open up this week, I would lose my mind.
Okay, well,
just for Beacon House.
Spoiler for the listeners right now. You're hearing this episode. We're recording it a little bit early, so we're actually in September right now. But you're going to be hearing this. This is going to be our debut Halloween episode in October.
Wait, no. We recorded this live the day that we went.
We recorded this on Halloween in the future.
It's recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Both of you quiet. Anyway, so Frightworks.
Okay. Yeah, Frightworks. Boo-rar. Scary.
You were saying something and we interrupted you.
Oh, no, you're good.
So you said it's going to be we're brought in to help close a portal.
Yeah,
is that more of a sci-fi kind of a space theme thing?
So it's a very interesting process. So, like I told you, last year it was the Dream Reaver Institute. This year it's Frightworks presents Dream Reavers, The Portal. So what's really great is we actually brought in, during this time of COVID, we were fortunate to bring in some additional contractors throughout the time. And we actually brought in a team, Jessica and Adam, who have been known for doing some amazing work at the Mysterious Mansion in Gatlinburg. And they worked to do this amazing laboratory. So we actually have, last year, you'll remember, you went into a decontamination chamber that went into pitch black. That entire pitch black is now a humongous laboratory, which is where a portal is going to be located. So you are going to physically be able to transport you and your party into this other dimension that is run by the Sandman, which has kind of been our guy for as many years as they've done Dream Reaver over the years.
Holy crap!
It sounds so dope.
That's so good, man.
Especially you saying that the room is huge. I was told the dragon was huge, and I wasn't prepared for how big that thing was until it bit me, and I think that's why I'm still stuck there.
Man,
honestly.
I'm telling you, dude, we've been seeing this for years. A lot of people have already been there and seen it, and some people knew before we even mentioned it, but it's really hard to overestimate how cool Frightworks is. It's incredibly well planned out, operated, everything. I mean, it's the best. In my opinion, it's absolutely the best, and we appreciate your association with us. So that sounds super exciting. So everybody listening, get off your ass and go.
Yep.
Yes.
Go.
Yep.
Go. Let's not let
Yep.
2020 ruin this for us. But now talk to us about some of the challenges.
Oh, God.
Go. Yeah. Again, another loaded question, I know.
Yeah, so, going into it and everything, we discussed from the beginning, we're like, hey, all right, let's go, let's get going. But we had some pretty huge plans. 2019 was probably one of our most successful years in recent times. And, that's great in this industry. And especially with, all of our friends that are operating Screamville and Dead Man's Farm and Frightmare Manor and all these other haunts in the areas. We're so fortunate that, we can be in this industry and do this. And then the next thing we know, here we all are not knowing what's going to happen. We weren't sure if the city was going to come down and say you can't have more than 20 people inside your attraction at a time. And, on average, on a good night, we've got 40 actors. So we sat down and we just kind of were like, all right, right now we're just going to pretend like it doesn't exist. We're just going to build and we're going to bring things in and we're going to work on stuff. And as time got closer, the state of Tennessee came out with their guidelines for large attractions and venues and things that Dollywood had to follow. So we thought that it was best for us in the style of attraction that we are is to just follow in suit with the same things like the Dollywood company would have to follow in suit with. So we did a lot of research on that aspect. And, we don't have outdoor plumbing per se, so we rent porta potties, but we've also reached out to that company, and they're going to be providing additional hand washing stations for our customers. We're bringing on some additional staff in the front of house specifically to be able to go around and make sure that we're sanitizing those restrooms, we're sanitizing the box office, we're sanitizing our crew areas every 30 minutes. Granted, Jelana is doing a full circle around the haunt 24/7, and she said she's just going to have the Lysol wipes and everything in her hands and go everything. One of the greatest things that this year has brought us is a virtual line. So we've been seeing a lot of theme parks are doing things called virtual lines, like Universal Studios in Florida, where you pretty much pick a time slot and that is your opportunity to get in line. So ours is a little different. They're going to show up, they'll meet somebody who's going to determine, you need to buy tickets, you already have your tickets, and then they check in with that person. At that point, we get their phone number for somebody in their party, and then we're told, be free. Go
back to your car.
Yeah. Go back to your car, or go visit our wonderful friends from Pedal Java that's going to be there a couple nights, or go visit Madame Wright, who's going to be providing a tarot card readings, socially distanced, or Danny, one of our fabulous women, is bringing on the Witch's Village, which is like a witch shop. It's a really cool gift shop that she's doing completely on her own. She's building it. It'll be portable at one point. So we're giving our customers an opportunity to still be able to mingle and social distance. We're changing up our queue line. We're only going to have 7 groups in line at a time because we will send them a text message about 10 minutes before it's their time to go in, so then they can hop in line. So we've definitely got spaces within our parking lot. So if people don't want to get in their car, they can mingle outside of their car. If they want to smoke a cigarette, well, they can go over next to the dumpsters with the rest of the trash. I smoke, so I can say that.
Damn right. Right.
So we've definitely got that on tap, and we've always tried to do things. We've looked at how we can alter how our queue line actors perform. They wear these big silicone costumes, and under those silicone costumes, they're wearing full face masks that cover everything but their eyes. So, they've got pretty much triple protection. They've got silicone, they've got a costume, and then they have a face mask on, which is absolutely wonderful for them. So people are still going to be able to get that interaction, and every 30 minutes when they come in to take their breaks, they're going to be sanitizing the entire outsides of their costumes and of their masks. So they're still going to have the opportunity to mingle with our customers and take those pictures and make those great scares from the outside standpoint. From the inside standpoint and the back of house standpoint, we're going full swing. So before our volunteers and staff can come in the back door, they've got a full checkpoint that they've got to go through. They have to answer the COVID questionnaire that the customers will have to ask, have you been in contact, things like that. Then our our staff will have to go through a temperature screening every day. I know the CDC has been kind of back and forth on temperature checking, so we've decided we're not going to do that with the customers from that aspect, but our people that are going to be inside the whole night, we're going to temperature check them. So they're going to go through that screening before they come into the door. They're going to be given a fresh face mask from us every single night. So it's not something they're bringing from home. It's not something they're getting 2 or 3 wears out of. It's a fresh face mask. We've worked with our costuming department and our makeup department so we can make sure that masks are a big thing this year, like theatrical masks. So, it's kind of hard to do face paint on a regular mask that's going over your face.
Right.
So we've spent a little more to be able to have more prosthetic masks. So we're going to do a little less face painting. You'll notice typically in years past, we have this big actor in the front scene when you go in to really set the tone for the scene. But we've completely altered how our story works. And now our usher on the front porch is going to completely set that. And from the moment you walk in that front door, you're on your own. There is no guide to take you the first 15 feet in. You're just completely on your own, wandering through the hospital.
That dude scared the hell out of me last time. I don't know if I like that better or not.
The one that sat down and tried to take my shoe?
Yeah.
Oh, he licked people's glasses. He ate gum. He ate people's gum last year.
Dude,
Can't do that this year.
Bradley was crazy. Yeah, we had our first meeting and he was like, I'm not touching anyone or anything this year. And we were like, that's probably a good thing. You probably should have never done that in the first place.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a good thing.
Well, to be fair, he never touched anybody in our group, but he got as close as he could, so it was pretty dope.
Was it last year that we were like not needing a bunch of like smoke because we had some people who had...
Yeah, my wife has asthma.
Well, we have two theatrical buttons in that scene. One would give you the lights and the special effect, but no fog, and the other one gives you fog. But the problem that I think our actors had in that scene is it got so foggy in there some nights because if you weren't paying attention and you put the the phase fog in there that does not a quick dissipating, we would completely fill up that room and it would go into the box office and it would go into our break room and we're like, I think we put the wrong fog fluid in there. And then he's wearing that gas mask so he couldn't see. He's just like hitting the wall like let me give a good show. Let me give a good show. Where's the button? Where's the button?
Make it stop.
I love
hilarious.
that. That's amazing.
And then you put the claustrophobic tunnel is what I call it, where the balloons.
Yeah.
And of course, just like every time, for some reason, every time I go through those, no matter what haunted house attraction I'm at, someone always in front of me freaks out and stops, which then I'm stuck in the middle of this thing. I already have claustrophobia, and then I start to panic. And I start like kicking my feet, like move. Like we're all going to get through this together. Just you have to move. You can't stop.
Yeah.
And the person, like people in front of me, like, no, I can't. I was like, I will grab you and pick you up, and we're going to get through this together.
Yeah.
It's just
Hunter, was last year your first time?
It was I was going to say
Because the previous year you got married.
he's the one that stopped, and I had to pick him up.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the thing that you talking about that reminded me. What I loved about the whole experience is that I'd never been, but I'd heard stories my whole life, so I knew what each of the sections were supposed to be.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
Like that wall still got
the
you.
wall. Yeah.
That mirror.
Once we got there, and I was like, oh, this is that thing, cool. And then I got in it, and I was like, fuck me, somebody get me out of here right now. And then Casey's favorite, I think, was the false walkway or whatever, because I have
It's
horrible
very
fear
well
of falling.
done. The whole thing is very, very well done.
Well, the wall fell on me.
Yeah,
but when it pushes forward, I was the person in the group.
That element is actually when I used to work for the Haunted Hayride of Horror out in Lenore City years ago. We went to Frightworks as like our whole crew, and that's what sold me on Frightworks. Is I walked in there and I literally felt like I was going to shit myself because the next thing I know, a wall is falling and all I see is a pit that just goes down
Forever.
and down and down, and then it turns into pitch black.
Yep.
And that was one of the only times I've ever been to a haunted attraction where
So
I
good.
literally was terrified.
I'm pretty,
So good.
I'm pretty sure not
Same.
to
I
reveal.
literally thought I was in danger. And,
Yeah.
and we're not going to give away exactly what part it is. Everybody needs to go and check it out. But I was like, oh, most of the time you can go, oh, that guy jumped out and it's fine or whatever. But I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. Like this. Oh, okay. Then you kind of see how it works. But
it was shortly after or right before that, I can't remember, when the dragon showed up. And because of who I am, I saw it from a distance. And I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. I can't wait to get up to it. And then I realized
it's bigger than me.
it's bigger than me, and its nose like touched my belly, and I was like,
And you went, hoo.
this thing is gonna. Yeah, I got excited.
Yeah.
Wanted to crawl in its mouth.
Did I ever tell you guys
Just
the
sleep
story
there?
of what happened when they first got the dragon? Did I tell you about that last time? I was here?
Maybe.
I don't.
They were going to load it in, and this thing is like 8 tons. It is huge.
Oh, great.
And it's longer. It's longer than a car. And when they went to go load it in, that dragon was like screw you, and it literally bit the finger off of our owner. Like his thumb, I believe it was his thumb, was just hanging on by the skin.
Nice.
So we joke about just boarding. We're like, hey, we need to board up the dragon one year, make it just disappear, so people will be like, where's the dragon? And he's like, no, we're not moving it. It's staying right where it is. It's never going anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, I lost a finger for this dragon. It's going to be in every year.
I mean, that's fair.
Dude, I'll tell you another thing about Frightworks that I think is really cool. Is like from outside. Well, first starters, it looks really cool from outside. I live near there. So like I was telling you, I drive by it all the time, like at night.
Exactly.
And
where?
it's lit up. And it's awesome. And you get so excited, especially the closer it gets to October. I get unbearable. Like, people can't be around me, But I'm just like, oh, there's Frightworks. I go over those train tracks, and here it comes. And I'm just like, ee. But then the thing is, from outside, it's so unassuming. You can't tell.
Yeah.
You can't kind of get a glimpse and go, oh, there's a turn there or whatever. It just looks like a big square building. And when you go in, there's so many twists and turns that you really get disoriented. You have no idea, like, oh, I'm on the back side or I'm on the front side or what. Like, you don't really know where you are until you come out. So you're not going to get in there and like figure it out. You're not going to outsmart the attraction. Like,
yeah, they're too smart for that.
They're too smart for you.
Yeah, and
it's 100% worth it. And I want to say too, you mentioned some of the people that work like at the box office, or whatever. Everybody that we've ever met there was so cool, man. Like all the people at the windows, the people out front in line. Like, it just seems like a really good bunch, and I cannot emphasize enough. You guys have got to make that part of your Halloween. Go more than once. Go twice. Go,
I'm going
we have
more than
season
once.
passes,
dude.
Just
Wait,
saying.
what?
Yeah, we have season passes.
No kidding.
Yeah, it gives you.
How much are those?
Oh God, you had to ask. I
so
want to
sorry.
say no. You're good. You're good.
Edit.
Our price to change. No, you're good. Our price change. Or Jesus Christ. Our ticket prices, as far as I know, like they haven't changed. Our regular ticket price this year is just $23. Our fast pass is like $34, and these are after tax prices. Of course, you're going to ask me about the one ticket that I don't remember. I want to say it's in the 40s, but you can also buy a season ticket with a season fast pass, and I think it's somewhere between like in the 50s. And I mean that gives you unlimited visits. And last year, we actually surprised. I'm not doing it this year, so don't get your hopes up. Last year, just for fun, we decided that everyone that showed up on our very first night, on our opening night, and bought a ticket, got a free season pass. So we handed out like several hundred season passes that day.
I want one.
Oh, hey, look! Magically, I know what the ticket prices are now. Fun fact, as you said, we're recording this ahead of time. Our tickets actually just went live today, like today, not today as in when this is airing. But our season pass is $46 after tax, and the season pass with the fast pass is $57. So
a bargain.
So
yeah, well worth it.
And
bargain.
free parking. Everybody loves free parking.
you
That's
might get
true.
your
You're not
season
going to
pass.
find any of that downtown.
season pass is throughout all October, and then your Christmas and Valentine's Day
so if you
shows.
purchase a season pass right now, like the month of October, it'll be good for the entire haunt season of October. It'll be good when we do our Christmas haunt this December, our Valentine's Day haunt, and then we may or may not do something next summer. A lot of times we've done stuff with Imes Nature Center. Obviously, we didn't do that this year, and there's no telling, what Rona's got in store for us for 2021. Hopefully, nothing.
Jesus.
I think it'll be gone by November, right?
November 3rd.
If it is, my faith in humanity is gone. To see as many of my friends in the haunt industry and in the hospitality industry, my theme park friends and entertainers, just to see that if that truly happens, and I've heard some people say it, I will be very upset.
Me too.
all of us.
I'll be right there with you.
Same.
The upsetting thing is that it's plausible enough for me to not fully laugh at it. So.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you're like, that could.
Yeah.
I need a cigarette.
Yeah.
But before we get off of tickets, before I forget, we're going to do something new this year on top of all the new that we're already doing. For those people that still want to really maintain their socially distance and really take that extra step, we are offering time tickets that you can purchase online. And this does not cost anything more. It's kind of a reward for the people that want to go online ahead of time and purchase their tickets. And we can do, I think it's like 4 groups in like a 15 to 20 minute time slot. So they'll purchase what time they're going to arrive at the haunt, and then we're going to be getting them in within, I think it was like 10 to 15 minutes from their time slot. So when they show up, they don't even have to come up until it's time for them to come up. They'll come up, they'll check in with our host, and then we'll be like, all right, just go chill for like 5-10 minutes, and then boom, they'll be right inside the door. So that's something that's really amazing that we wanted to be able to offer to those folks that still wanted to come out, but they don't want to come out and have to still wait around other people. So
now with groups, what's the min-max? Like, what's the maximum number of people you can have in your group?
So yeah, that's something we've talked about. The downfall to this is we are not mixing groups. So like if you come up and you're like, I'm a group of 2 or I'm a group of 1, we are not putting you with someone else. Now, if you make friends with somebody in line and you're like, we're just a group of 2 and we don't want to go through by ourselves, and they're a group of 3, if you're in line and you're like, hey, you want to go through with us, like that's totally fine. We'll let you go through, but we are not going to make you mix with other groups. So typically, and we do say that we try to keep our groups close to 5 during the normal season. We really tell them don't do groups more than 8 or more than 6 really, because once you get to that point, you're such a conga line that you're really missing some of the really amazing special effects. By the time the last person gets in the room, that animatronic is resetting, and they're not getting that full effect of it. So when you do groups of 4 to 5, you really have the opportunity to get that. And we're fortunate enough that we're not like a conga line haunt where it's just a long line from in the door and out the door. And, some haunts, they do that, and that's great, but we're fortunate enough that we have just enough business to where we can still really get those really immersive effects.
Yeah.
So
okay.
100%. And I think that's a good thing too. And I say take advantage of it while you can. So if you've got definitely bring all your friends. Definitely bring everybody but just split up into like reasonable groups.
Well, I think this year when we go, we'll have even more than we did last year. We had almost 9 people with us.
We should definitely have more this year. Yeah,
and this year we'll have a lot more, I think.
Yeah, and putting that out there too. Reach out to us. You guys know. Most everybody that listens to this podcast knows how to get a hold of us, but if you would like to meet up with Beacon House and go the night that we go get a hold of us on social media.
Now, speaking of bringing the business, big thing, I need to say this before I forget, don't forget those face masks.
Nope.
So we are following the Knox County mandate and the CDC recommendation. So consumers, they are required, the moment you step in line to purchase your ticket, you got to have that face mask on until you're back out to where you can socially distance. And the moment that you step back in line and go to the attraction, you got to have that face mask on. And we're teaching all of our actors that if they go into a scene, with customers come in and they don't have face masks on, you're walking through an empty room. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to jeopardize the safety of our partners or other customers if you want to come through and take your mask off. So just make sure you come through. We're all there. We're having a fun time, and I know just as much as the next person. I just got back from Universal Studios having to wear a face mask in 90-degree weather. I mean, it sucked. But the good thing is we're in an air-conditioned building when it's cold, and we're heated when it's hot out. So. I just said that backwards. Yeah, you get what I'm saying.
That sounds awful. You guys turn the air conditioning on in the middle of December?
It's part of the mood.
Controlled.
Yeah.
But yeah, so face masks they're a big deal, and we're gonna take that part very seriously. So
awesome.
Make sure when you come out, you got those face masks.
That makes it feel a little bit like we're more in character too. If we're like a team going in to look for the team.
Yeah,
and when you go through the asylum, it just makes more sense because everyone's got their face masks on.
That's true.
That was my favorite part from the last time was the TV, the security camera.
Oh, I hated that part.
It was so good.
It was, but
it was. I'm assuming the screen or the thing in the TV was pre-recorded, but the moment you open the door, she's right there, and you're like, I knew it.
Gotta love her CC.
She got between Shipley, right? Didn't she separate Shipley from us?
Something like
I don't know.
that.
My wife is in here. She's nodding.
It was. Everybody that we brought had so much fun. Frying Pan had so much fun.
Yeah,
Frying Pan made friends with the dude at the very end, and he kept like poking his head up over the fence and like.
Oh God, yes, I remember that, and I was just like,
she's so talkative. She was like, "Hey, thanks for almost killing us,"
So funny.
Oh yeah, dude, we'll bring a gang, man. It'll be good. Oh, especially if Pedal Java's there.
Don't bring a gang, Spencer.
Pedal Java.
Yeah.
Bring a group, not a gang.
Thank you.
No, we'll bring a gang of deaf people. I'm not going to
gaggle.
Don't.
A gaggle. Bring a gaggle.
A gaggle.
We'll
bring a gaggle.
That works.
Well, we were talking right before this. Didn't you say some of the big attractions are not opening this year?
Yeah. So one of the craziest things is, right before I took my trip to Universal, I got a ping notification on my phone, and I opened it, and it was like Universal Studios Hollywood and Orlando Resort has officially announced that they're canceling Halloween Horror Nights, and that's the first time Halloween Horror Nights has ever been canceled to my knowledge. I mean, I think it's 20 to 30 years.
I think they've even stayed open during hurricanes before.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. And, you know, once I got down to Universal and I was there on vacation, and I was thinking to myself, like, you know, how in God's name would they be able to do these haunts with thousands of drunk people? Because that's all Halloween Horror Nights is at Universal, is the drunk people, which I don't know for certain, and we may know by the time this airs. There's whispers that Universal is going to actually be putting Halloween Horror Nights on as daytime operation. They've been seeing certain little things popping up at Universal Studios right now, and word to the grapevine is that they're going to open it. They've built them. They've built all these haunts, and they're like, well, maybe we could just open them during the day, and who knows, maybe because they won't have so many drunk people, they'll be able to mandate their face masks and things like that. So, but when that first came out, I was on the internet and I just saw haunt after haunt after haunt. We're closed. And, you know, I think part of it was a mixture of people looked Halloween Horror Nights as kind of a shining light in our industry. And, you know, in other places, they're being mandated by their states, or the guidelines that they're being held to are so expensive, having to bring in, you know, all these sanitizing solutions and all these things. You know, we're fortunate enough at Frightworks that we had the ability to get a hold of hand sanitizer and cleaning chemicals and everything that we need that's not, you know, medical grade peroxide.
Yeah.
But you even also have medical grade peroxide.
For those that want it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what we have in those cabinets back there.
I know. In the surgical ward, they have a lot of crazy things in there.
Fire marshal, you didn't hear that. We're legal. But yeah, no. So that was crazy, and it really breaks my heart because there's so many haunts across this country that are mom and dad companies, and the only way they stay open year to year is if they make enough money each year. And so, you know, I know that in my mind, I'm always thinking, you know, God, I hope that we're able to have a successful season this year, because who knows what happens otherwise. But I think that, you know, our social media is starting to churn up, and we're seeing people wanting to come out. I think at this point, people are so tired of being cooped up that they're ready to get out and do things. So we're doing what we got to do to make sure that we can be open and be safe. And it's crazy, but we're going to do it. We're going to scare the shit out of it.
I'm so excited.
We're very excited about it, and we're glad that you guys took we're glad that you guys were up to the challenge, because we know that this has got to, every single thing that you do has got to have 2 or 3 extra steps in it this time, or 10 extra steps, or require an extra 3 weeks of planning. And we were just thrilled that you guys rose to the occasion and decided to do it. It would have been easy to just fold and go, you know what, not this year. But I agree with you, man. I think a lot of people need it. I know I do, man. I know, like I said, this year's been such a turd in so many ways. Like,
I need the back half of 2020 to not be.
It'd be rad. It'd be good if the rest of this year is shredded.
You know what I'm truly hoping for this year. And, you know, I'm not knocking on the churches or anything, but trunk or treats had become such a popular thing. And me, you know, I'm 27 now. I absolutely hate the idea of just setting up in a parking lot and, you know, letting kids trick or treat out of your trunk. Like, I grew up going to the subdivision that my grandmother lived in and being told, you know, I'll be right here on the front porch. Don't leave the subdivision. And, you know, we were gone for 2 hours. We were hitting up some houses twice, you know, and I'm really hoping, I've been seeing some people on this web forum that a lot of haunters use that are saying, you know, we're actually buying candy and taking it to our neighbors to say, will you turn your porch light on this year and hand out candy to these kids? You know, we didn't stop fireworks shows on 4th of July and Memorial Day and or Labor Day and all these things. You know, let's not let Halloween be a bust because all of these organizations can't hold these trunk or treats. Let's do it in a socially distant fashion.
Yeah.
So I'm praying. I am hoping that I turn my porch light on. Well, I won't, because I'll be at Frightworks. But hopefully my neighbors will turn their porch light on this year, and, you know, they'll have kids coming, because I think that's something that our communities really, really need this year more than anything.
I agree 100%.
I love Halloween so much.
Yep.
It's so good.
Yep.
It's the coolest time of year, man. It's
Literally fall.
Yeah, it's the perfect time, man. It's
also,
it's just chilly enough. Like, all the good things are there. And Halloween is just like the crescendo to that. It's the greatest, man.
Like, even like when you watch Hocus Pocus
Ah.
in that northeastern small town, leaves are falling. You can already feel how crisp the air is.
Oh yeah, like
it's the perfect.
If you watch
weather.
Halloween Town,
The thing that would make it even better for me personally is if there's just like a slight overcast. It's like 6 o'clock at night. It's raining. just a little bit. It's chilly. I need it. I need that.
Yeah, and usually
Summer
Halloween
sucks.
Usually Halloween is the week that it actually kind of gets really cold.
Yeah.
Usually the first few weeks in October can even feel just like
I don't know. Next
summer.
week, next Saturday is getting down to the 40s.
Man, I hope we have some fall.
Praise God.
Thank God.
Thank God. Yeah.
I'm ready to bring out my
This
old man
Saturday-
sweaters.
This
Yeah, dude.
Saturday is going to get
Same-
down to the 40s
same,
at
dude.
night.
Aren't you wearing one?
You're lucky you're sitting all the way over there.
I do have a question for you. So I recently, and I mean recently in the last year, watched a documentary about haunted house attractions that people do out of their own houses.
Yeah.
I think it was on Netflix.
Yeah, probably.
And what they didn't tell you was the documentary follows a couple of houses, but then focuses on one guy in particular. And I don't know if you've heard of this or
Is this
not.
the extreme haunt guy?
It's the extreme haunt
Yeah.
guy who basically puts people through torture.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
full blown sign a waiver. I'm going to see if I can make you quit.
Think you're going to
Life.
drown, make you eat dog food.
Yeah, put you in the water and all that
Yep.
stuff.
And I didn't know if you knew this guy, like knew about him already without this documentary, or if you've seen this.
So I have watched the documentary.
You're not this guy, to be clear, right?
No,
Okay.
no, trust me. Like you know
so-
this guy when you see him, and he's also like, I don't get off on this stuff. And then like it zooms out, and he's like in his underwear watching old tapes, being like, oh yeah, and it's like he does.
So I know from what I've heard is he's been run out of certain states and places because he's not a haunted attraction. He's a torture house.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that statement reflects my own personal views, not the views of Frightworks. That's just how I personally have seen it, and that's how
The
a lot of
documentary
the people,
definitely shows it that way.
It's. I mean, it's crazy. I personally, I don't care to watch it, but I personally would never want to go through that experience because even if you want out, it's like he has found a loophole in that contract that like you say that word to get out and you don't get out. Like you are theirs once you sign in and you go in. And there's a huge long wait list for these things. I mean, it's absolutely crazy and people want to do it. And I mean, more power to them. But I do know that a lot of people have said, you know, that's not a haunted house. That is a torture chamber.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, it's just, but like that's what he tries to declare it as. And when I was watching it, I was like, this is not even the same. It's not even the same realm. That doesn't look fun. That's
Yeah.
not like.
Well, that's for people that have been through the like you would like a haunted attraction, and maybe they didn't just go there to appreciate it. Like when I go through Frightworks, I appreciate all the stuff. Like I'm so into like the lighting in all the rooms and like how this is built and how this room has an eerie red glow and this room has this other glow and the way that everything looks, and
The laser wall.
there's a whole thing about it that just looks cool, and it's cool to be in that environment. I'm not necessarily there like, can I handle it? I mean, I've been through it probably going on 8 straight years now. I know I can handle it. I'm there for like the whole, just to see, I'm there for the immersive experience. I think you have this other type of person who's just like maybe super scared up front, and that they're like, they're trying to see how much they can take because they're trying to prove something to themselves. So they go through like a haunted attraction. They go, that wasn't anything. Those people were in obvious masks and stuff, and like, and then they keep going for like it's just like risk taker, you know, like the adrenaline junkie type. That they stopped caring about. Like I've seen that part of that documentary, and it didn't look cool. Like the part, you weren't in cool looking rooms. You just had your eyes taped shut, and
Well,
they were just putting your head in a bucket of water and like.
He blindfolds people before picking them up so they don't know where he lives.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I just don't
Nope.
see.
Anyways,
and
I
well,
watched.
the whole thing's video recorded.
Yeah.
Like he has someone that's standing over you and they're video recording everything that happens to you.
he has hundreds and thousands of tapes just like ready to like pop it in to watch it again.
I mean, whatever your kink is.
But anyways, I saw that and I
ugh.
was just like, I was curious. I think it was after the first time, and the last time I just forgot to bring it up. But I was curious as to what your thoughts on that was, because I was like, there's no way that people who actually run like legitimate haunted house attractions are like, no, that's great. They're like, no, that gives us a bad name. Like people trying to like claim that they're like us and they do things like that.
I think the thing that I find the most hilarious, and I've never seen it at Frightworks, and I'm so glad, is that people assume that people that work at haunted houses are devil worshipping, evil, satanic people, and it's like, actually, my back of house manager, who pretty much, Jelana, she keeps that thing afloat at night. She's at church every Sunday morning. Like she'll leave that. She'll be like, okay, it's time for me to go home. I got to go to bed because I got to get to church in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, I've got God fearing people, and then I have people that aren't religious at all. And we always joke at Frightworks that we're the take it all haunt, because we've got a little bit of every person and every walk of life. And if you heard of that radio commercial a couple of years ago, that would make sense. But
I will say I did work at a haunted attraction like 5-6 years back, and it was at the
Books A Million.
Haunted Cave.
Oh, sorry.
No, the Haunted Cavern near off Oak Ridge Highway.
Yeah.
And the people that worked there were pretty insane. They're like, yeah, we'll put you up in this gear and stuff. And you go and like stand with other people before they place you. And the guy's sitting there just being like, yeah, man, I'm running my own moonshine in my house. Like it's behind my bathtub. And I was like, And the other guy's like, yeah, I got chased by the cops the other day on my 4-wheeler. I was drunk as piss. I just got up in the mountains and started just mudding up through the mountains. Those cops didn't know how to chase me. And I was like, I want to go home. I want to go home. Can I go home, please? Can
These
I
are
please
scary men.
It's like, they look like dudes off Duck Dynasty, like big ass beards, and they're just like
That was
like,
my
yeah.
first haunt experience too, but I was fortunate here. I was like a little frail gay guy walking in here, and they're like, make him look like a sophisticated serial killer, and they got me in some like purple frou-frou thing, and I got all these big burly redneck men look at me, and I was just like, oh god, I'm dead. Like I'm not gonna make it through tonight. And then they were actually some of the most welcoming and kind people that I have ever met, and
Yeah.
I've been fortunate that that's how most of the people in the haunt industry are. So it's.
Yeah, man, I can imagine. Like, well, again, you know, we've had much closer contact with like Frightworks than anybody else, but also, you know, we've been to Frightmare Manor and a lot of places like that. But it seems like generally everybody's kind of in it for the right reason, you know.
Yeah,
like,
it's all in for the love of Halloween,
And
love
they
of the
have-
scare.
fantastic imagination. They live into the roles. You know, like they really get into it. You know, they're not thinking like I'm out here farting around in a mask. Like they remember what it's like to be a kid. You know, and you kind of bring that back to the experience. And like, dude, I think it's rad. I think it's again just the idea of like a perfect fall evening.
Up at that delicatessen. My name's Anthony. I run this delicatessen. Get the fuck out of here. You could have been somebody, you little rat shit. You little skeevy bitch. What are you doing? What are you laughing at, Marla?
Is it? Are you
Marla,
okay?
what-
Is your thing going on?
It's his little.
Is your blood sugar low,
My
buddy?
blood sugar's
Are you
dropping.
okay?
I'm so sorry. It might be. I don't know.
Did you have an alarm? Did your fucking arm thing email you about your blood sugar?
Do you have to go like? what did I call him last
no,
week?
it
A
didn't.
sugar gremlin?
Sugar gremlin.
Sugar
That-
gremlin.
When people hear this, that'll be like 3 weeks ago. But yeah,
I mean, I keep.
Hey, you
forgetting.
know what? You don't have to be the
you don't
white
have to
rabbit in
be
this.
somebody.
You don't have to be somebody.
Antachino's
Why
deli.
don't you get to Antachino and get a latte? Spend 30 minutes just
I'm
making
so
it
sorry.
right.
This is how they get sometimes, and there's not much I can do.
It's him. He starts it.
It's not me. It's
So
the one that brought up
it's
Uncle
you.
Antachino.
It was kind of you. You did start it.
I did start it.
Anyway, this year Pedal Java will be at Frightworks, and you have no excuses not to have good coffee. And
They won't be there every night.
Not every night.
I don't. We haven't completely nailed down everything with them. We reached out to them and we were just like, hey, you know, we want to reach out to some other businesses in our community, and we'd love an opportunity. I mean, I love them. I've worked with them with the CreepyCon Halloween and Horror Convention and Chocolate Fest, and I pretty much was like, you know, if you want to come, you can come as many nights or as little nights as you want. You set up in a parking lot, like, go for it. And so they'll be there. I think they're going to start on the third weekend that we're open, so it'll be like our fourth day that we're actually open to the public, and then they're just going to kind of test the waters and see how everything goes. And yeah,
And
So make sure you go and give Frightworks and Pedal Java all your money.
and the other vendors in the parking lot.
yes.
the
Oh,
Witches,
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Witches
forgot, yeah.
Village and
Bring enough
Madame
money
Right.
to give all of it to everybody.
I mean,
And for the third
So-
year in a row, I keep saying it, and you keep saying yes, you can absolutely do that, and then I never follow through with it.
Scare people?
But this year for Christmas, I want to be Krampus. I want it so bad.
you activated my Siri. I don't know how you did that,
Is
but you
your
activated my Siri.
iPad Siri known as Krampus?
I guess
I want to be Krampus so bad.
my phone
Whoa,
calls me
that's
Dark
dark.
Lord.
That is dark.
Can I be a candy cane sugar gremlin?
No, you get to be. Oh, maybe is that Krampus?
You know, we did have at our Christmas on a couple years ago. We had a guy who went out and he created a modeling agency out in Clinton, and he was our naughty elf, and all he wore was a very small and tight vest and a pair of like Santa boxers. I mean, he obviously had stuff on underneath that, but that's what he was. And I mean, I
I'll
think
wear a Speedo. I'll do one better.
You would make a great naughty elf. You kind of act like that anyway, and you and your little red pants there. Look at you.
only if your wife will dress up as Mrs. Claus and come in the room with cookies. She said she will.
We've got
She
a deal.
absolutely will.
Nailed it.
Can they be the special peanut butter ones that I can eat without dying, please?
Yeah, make everybody else's time terrible.
Hey, they taste wonderful. You shut up.
Can't you? Doesn't your radar in your arm have to take care of the cookies?
No, that's an
Does it
insulin
save you
pump.
from the cookies?
You pleb.
Oh, sorry.
Shut up, you weeb.
I'm waiting for somebody to call somebody a simp. Now, okay.
We simp for Frightworks, and that's okay.
That's true. That's true.
It is okay.
I don't know if Dustin wants us to simp for Frightworks.
I mean, I don't make the rules there. I'm in charge of the box office and up front, and I go and do things like this. So, I mean, you take that up with back of house manager. That's her problem.
I'll come as a naughty elf.
Do you guys have the cattle prods with the light bulb or the glass attachments again this
Maybe.
year? Maybe.
That's
my favorite part because it scares me the most. I'm like, don't electrocute. I'm always waiting for that one time where the bulb falls off and the guy doesn't notice and actually like nails somebody.
That'll be
with it.
this year. That's this year.
It's for sure this year.
That's going to happen in like probably later this week.
Hunter gets a little nick and the thing on his arm shoots off like a firework.
That's not how that thing works at all.
he's like, my insulin.
How many diabetics have you shocked with it? You don't know that for sure.
Oh, man.
No, I meant the end of it doesn't shock people, even if the little cappy thing falls off.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, but
I thought it was an actual cattle
That's
prod.
No, like so that particular prop that you're talking about, that's not one that we manufactured. We actually purchased it from an organization that builds things like that, and like that is their goal, is to build things that look and sound like they are absolutely going to kill you, but you won't actually die, because I don't want
that must be a great business to be.
That
in.
has to be a great business.
Think about going to work every day and going, all right, what can we make that's scary as shit?
See, my haunted house attraction is just me getting this little chip with a watch battery in it and a little speaker, and it just has horror sounds on it. Usually it's like little girls laughing or like someone giggling or whispering.
Or like a door creaking.
And then I hide it somewhere in my apartment and see if my roommate can figure out if we're either haunted or if I have put another one of those chips in.
Yeah.
Someone did it to me, but they did it with a cricket chirp, and they put it. I had a
God.
futon at the time, and they put it in between two slits of metal in the futon.
Oh, that's pretty
And
brilliant.
for, I would say, 8 months, I was like, "Where's this cricket?" It's in my, and like literally, they just went till the battery went dead, and then he came in and he was like, "I was going to replace the battery, but I'm just going to take it out because you seem so sad."
Please tell me you got revenge.
Huh?
Please tell me you got revenge.
No.
Oh God.
Casey's a pacifist.
There's still this
Yeah.
still this year.
That's true. I can still-
2020, it does things to you.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
it does.
Well, gang, dude, Dustin, thank you so much
Yes,
for coming
thank you,
back.
as always.
We cannot wait to see you outside of this room and at Frightworks.
I'm literally leaving here and going back there because I
my
have
God.
10 days to finish about.
Hey, babe, you know
The
we were going
chapter
to get
book.
dinner. We could do that instead.
Hey,
Let's
there's
just
a
go.
Bojangles next door.
That's true. Bojangles.
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 That's like,
Bojangles.
we keep them in business, I'm pretty sure, come
Oh,
October.
dude, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Well, dude, in that case, you've got important work to do. Let's go ahead and wrap this up here. Again, thank you so much for being back.
Absolutely.
Everybody go to Frightworks and keep an eye on our podcast or our social media. And we'll let you know when we're going to be there. We'll talk to the Pedal Java people. We'll message with Dustin here. We'll figure out at least 2 really good nights in October to go. So if you can't make us the
Yeah,
first
we
one,
go
like
twice.
you want to do that, you want to commit to twice.
Yes.
We got to go twice.
I wanted
Yes.
to go again.
I
after
think
last
it's funny
time.
you guys want to stop it 2 times.
Well, let's go more. Fuck it. I just know how
Bunch
busy
of
I get in
pans.
October.
Gauntlet
There's no
thrown
telling.
down.
But
gonna
I
go-
want to
we're
go
going
5
3
times.
Okay.
We're going 5 times.
This is going to be on the air.
Let's
We'll
do
see.
it. We're going
You're
5
gonna come.
times.
You're gonna come
Let's-
every weekend we're open.
You're going to go
Yes.
once and
You're
then be
open
like,
5 weeks.
I'm streaming.
Don't ask me. There's not a calendar in front of me right now.
Absolutely.
sorry.
No, we're going every weekend, and I'm going to not piss myself at least one of those times. Maybe.
I hope I'm
Oh, wait,
not.
did you piss yourself last time?
Yeah, I blamed it on diabetes, but it was probably you guys.
She says just a little bit.
She has to do the laundry, so she would know.
That's true.
Oh God.
She's like, honey, can we not go to Frightworks? Piss pants.
Piss pants.
We're going to have to buy extra
Hunter,
laundry.
can you wear your yellow pants this time?
Do you have yellow pants?
No. I can get some, though.
You've got a couple weeks. Let's make it work.
Yeah, totally.
All right. Everybody check out Frightworks. Check out us there. And please have a safe and happy Halloween. And whatever you do not let 2020 ruin Halloween for us. Okay, we're counting on you guys.
Yeah, Hunter, I want this year you to dress up as a sugar gremlin.
You got it.
Sweet. I'm just going to roll him in powdered sugar and send him outside.